Anyways, cool. I love Meshuggah. Let's go. All right, George Lynch. He's saying a bunch of things, and I think we should listen. And I'll explain why I'm bringing this up. In life, a pure socialist democracy doesn't really work. In an interview with Real Music with Gary Stuckey, former Dokken guitarist George Lynch addressed ex-Dokken bassist Jeff Pilz's recent comment that egos were the downfall of the band's classic lineup. Asked if he would agree. Oh, I wouldn't say egos, plural. No, listen. Everybody has an ego. Ego is a strange word. It can mean a lot of different ways. But yeah, without driving down that rabbit hole, I would say I think some of us had the best interest of everybody at heart, and some of us, or less than some of us, had the interest of just themselves at heart. So that was really a struggle. So basically he's talking about, hey, vad gör du? Vad gör du för något? Vill du ha uppmärksamhet? That's what you want. Attention. Okay, I don't have a chair now, so I have to hold my eye, dog. Oh, Baxter, I love you. Oh, I love you, Baxter. Her name is Pix, by the way. That's a reference from a film. Which film? Let me know in the comment section. Anyways, he's talking about how you would eventually split up like revenue, or how you would... This is going so well. No, but basically, George is talking about how you would run a band. Like, you know, there's a lot of different ways to run a band. Either there's like some guy that's like a mastermind, or you split equal, for instance. Well, George says, my lesson from Dokken, and even before the Dokken days, was one for all for one. It was all about the democracy of rock and roll. We all work hard, we struggle together, we come up, we achieve something, and we all benefit equally. But I did learn a very hard lesson in post-Dokken years when I put together my band based on that philosophy and gave everybody equal share and equal power and equal money. And it was a failure. Just because people are not built equal and you do need somebody in control, you need somebody calling the shots. I just think the man-made hierarchy should mimic the natural hierarchy. In other words, let's say for an example, you have a bass player. Bass players, they play one or maybe two of the four strings on their bass, and they're not writing songs. And they're really not the motive force behind the band, let's say in some instances. I'm not saying all instances, but I'm just citing just a generic example. Could be a drummer, it could be a guitar player, it could be a singer, but he picked a bass player. So this person decides that because of their maybe lower position in the creative part and the earnings band part and all the other things and the attention part, that they feel that they need to overcompensate and they want to control everything, and they want to do this, and they force bad songs on you and bad decisions. And I think that's what Jeff is referring to when he's talking about ego. Ego is something else. To really get down into it, the most fundamental thing is trying to work with good people that you love and trust and that are honest as humans can be, and trusting each other just like a relationship, a marriage. And that's basically what it all boils down to. I've made this comparison myself a lot, that when you're in a band, you're basically in a relationship with 4 other people in the band. And it is really tough. Like, how can you have the same expectations when you're 4 to 5 people? I mean, someone's gonna want to do this more than the other. And some bands, they can do this. A really good example of this is Periphery, in my opinion. They seem, at least, that they're all bringing so much to the table on their different ends, and it seems like, you know, because of that, they can power on and, you know, become incredibly successful. While in some other bands, they're more like, okay, you have a guy that's basically controlling the whole band and the path that they're taking, and the guys are hired guns, basically. I think this is really interesting because if you're in a band where everyone shares everything equally, all these 4 relationships that you have to have with everyone has to work. Otherwise, it's gonna be chaos. In The Haunted, for instance, we do share everything equally. The workload might not be equal, but it's really good people that I trust and really good people that I love, genuinely. They're really awesome, and whenever we meet, we're having a great time. And it's just, you know, everyone is on equal terms, and that's just perfect. But that's not the case with all bands. And that's what George is saying right here. So what type of band are you? Are you in the band that want to be in an equal entity? Or are you in the band that has this guy that is kind of like taking control of everything? Let me know in the comment section. I think this is incredibly interesting. What is that? SC3070 active studio loudspeaker. That doesn't tell me anything. And then the camera falls over.